Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to Spooky Sleuths.
Born and raised in the most haunted city in Ohio, it's no surprise that she has a connection to the other side. Though she practices through love and light, things can still get a little dark sometimes. Known for hosting incredible events all throughout the tri-state areas, her readings have brought clarity and insight to so many others. Introducing our guest this week, Athens, Ohio native, Lacey East. With Intuitive Tutor by Lacey J. Gosh.
I can be an intuitive tutor.
Intuitive Tarot by Lacey J.
Might have to upgrade my name next time.
Intuitive Tutor.
You're teaching everybody about the tarot.
That's right. Showing you how to release in all types of ways.
I'm Sammi.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are Spooky Sleuths.
We actually met Lacey for the first time at the Blennerhassett Hotel in Parkersburg when Sammi got a reading there. And then we found her on TikTok, and then we connected again at FCI Con last year, and it's just been...
We keep running into each other. It's fate.
Meant to be. Meant to be.
So, Lacey, when did you start getting into tarot, and how did you get into tarot?
Well, honestly, I've basically always been a sensitive, somebody who's just been spiritually connected without even realizing it as a young girl. It's like something's up here, you know? So I was always very intrigued by tarot, but I never knew how to dive into it. I had a deck that I'd gotten from like a yard sale many years ago when my kids were toddlers. And at that time, I just didn't have the time or energy to put into something for myself.
Welcome to toddlers, right?
Parenthood. So yeah, basically, finally, when they're teenagers now. One's graduated, and the other one's graduating this year. So I finally have time to dedicate to myself. So at the end of 2021, I decided, boy, it's really picking up on TikTok world. You know, the spiritual TikTok here. So I thought, if I'm going to do this, I need to do this now, and I did, and it was like, it just through the roof. I made such great money in such a small amount of time just through that platform, just by giving freebies. You know what I mean? Starting out with freebie lives and giving them free readings and free card pulls and just, free yes and no's. And next thing you know is people like messaging me privately, like, I need more. I need to know what's going on.
Can I get a full?
Yeah.
How do I get a full?
How do I find out more? And it's like, come on, girl, I got the way for you. So. And it just, skyrocketed from there. So it's just been pretty incredible ever since. It's getting better and better every year. I'm, getting more and more connected, meeting so many new people and amazing people like you guys. Like, this is like so cool that, it's bringing us together. So,
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny how the divine timing works.
Absolutely. There's a reason. Because we've been planning this for a little bit, and there's a reason that we kept having to
Timing
put it
is
on.
everything.
Yes.
Timing is everything. Yes, for sure.
So did you do any, I don't know what the word is, like studying for tarot? Like, how did you learn all of the different cards? Because, decks have different cards and it can mean different things.
The tarot world is absolutely a world on its own. I self-taught, to be honest with you. Like, I just straight up was like, if it's for me, it's going to happen. And I tell people that all the time because they will come to me and say, can you teach me? I'm like, no. I could, but I'm not going to. I could teach you, but I'm not going to. Because I feel like if it's meant for you, if it's supposed to be, you're going to find a way. You're going to figure it out. Because when I started this journey, it was overwhelming. It was stressful. It was like confusing. One card, oh my God, one tarot card has a light and a shadow side. And each light on each card represents 4 to 7 different things.
Oh.
And each shadow on each card represents 4 to 7 things. So when I first started this journey, my goal was to just push light, love and light, all love and light, right? And it still is. But I noticed as I was going, when I was getting people's readings, I was like, wow, I'm pulling out the dark. I'm helping them find that dark and get rid of it. And that's basically what's been happening through my tarot readings. And so like my biggest, I don't know, what do you say, quote, with the comment, whatever, the biggest thing I hear from people is spot on. It's just like spot on. I'm like, I love that. So like literally when I started hearing it so much my first year, that's what I literally would be like, when I'm channeling, getting ready to, connect with spirit, I'm like, spirit, let's get some spot on messages, and that's what they do, spot on, So, you just you can't hide it. If it's working, it's working, So
Yeah, hearing how complicated that is, it makes me. So I've had other readings where they have like a book, and they're I'm like, okay, now it makes sense that you had to look up these cards in a book if something has like 4 different.
And and I'm not by any means like I wouldn't say I'm bashing or anything towards somebody who has to do that because I feel like they're still learning, and that's great. You're not going to learn unless you do. But I feel like at some point, if it's truly like meant for you, it should get to a point where it's happening without a guidebook. You know what I mean?
Especially whenever you were utilizing your deck and learning.
Yeah, because it's an individual. Like every tarot reader they're not the same, and we don't practice the same. And there's also a big stigma against tarot readers that drives me crazy. That you're automatically a witch, or you're automatically, which I'm not gonna say. I'm a green witch. Okay, I'm all about the natural, the organic.
We're not knocking that.
Period. No, not at all. We love witches. We love a good witch. No, I'm just saying, to automatically have people like, when there's more spiritual people on the, God spectrum, the religion, if you will. It's just a lot of people might have the bad perspective, and it's like, it's not that. You can. That's the thing about tarot is you can mix it. Yeah, people have a bad perception. They don't understand. And so it's like they can go together. It doesn't mean they do. You can add these concepts together. It depends on your practice. My practice is all love and light. My practice is all good energy, releasing the negative. I don't want to, cast spells on people. I'm not trying to.
I do.
And I have met plenty of people. My mother is one of those who's like, oh, yeah, I used to do that. And I'd dabble in some black magic. I'm like, whoa, girl. No. I like the energy clear. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with the heaviness later. So
I feel like all the spiritual practices are on like a spectrum, just like your religious spectrum too.
Absolutely.
Like there's little niches for
every
everything.
person, there's so much to it. There is so much to it. It's endless. It's an endless supply of spirituality. You know what I mean? So it just depends on who you are, what your niche is, what you're into.
I went on my first ghost hunt. Yeah, let me pull this up. I went on my first ghost hunt with Sammi at the Bel Air house.
That was your first
That
one?
was my first one.
Woo!
And I went because we had a friend at the time that was like super into it. We had been watching Sam and Colby, like we were in it. But we got a hold of Sam and we were like, hey, we're free. My daughter just went to bed. Can we come over? And she was like, yeah, go ahead. So we went over there. That was my first experience. I saw a shadow figure. We had to leave early because her daughter had this experience that we still have never been able to replicate.
Like called you and like, hey, or something, like get home?
Oh, she was with us.
Oh.
She was doing the Estes method on the floor in the living room right in front of me. And the radio just went silent. And then she heard a blood-curdling scream come through.
Oh, that gave me cool chills.
Yeah. And I mean, you have headphones on for that, so it's right in your ears.
Oh my gosh. Did she throw them off her head?
Yes. And
wow.
then she was bawling.
Yeah, she was tripping
we
out.
had to get her outside.
She's like,
yeah,
that's
scary. She might be a
scary.
little bit sensitive.
Oh, for sure. They were trying to connect, like, hey, can you hear me? You know what I mean? They probably tried to talk for a minute and it's like, heard that one. Wow.
And that's when I showed up, is whenever they had taken her outside. So
Oh.
I missed that, but that was like the okay. And Sammy's like, here, let me take you inside. And I walked in and it was just heavy.
Wow.
Which,
you could feel it.
You could feel the negativity, the heaviness, which you can still feel today.
Wow.
Like every
Like
time
when you go in there?
Yes. It's
Okay.
like it feels like you're entering a completely different dimension. It's
Wow.
wild.
Wow.
But shortly after that, we went to a Paracon. And so I had already started okay, maybe this is something we can do for fun. We might go to Hinsdale with you in a couple months,
Right.
whatever. But we went to this Paracon and Sam was like, I want to get a tarot reading. And I was like, oh no, that's not for me because I grew up
Dipping too far. Religious.
so religious.
Okay.
I was like,
You're like,
in
you're going to
my-
open a window, which, with the wrong person, probably could.
I opened I was like, no, that's not for me. I grew up in youth group in church, and I was song leader, and it was a part of me growing up.
Yeah, and you're like,
With that also comes religious trauma, though, that I've been working through my adult life.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I still love my Jesus,
Of
but I also
course.
believe that there is
So much more.
There's a lot more out there.
So much more. We
than-
can't deny it. You'd be silly to deny it. You'd sound silly when you say, this is it. And I don't mean to say it in a rude way, but it's like, it's almost like closed-minded. It's like you have to be able to see that there's more. You have to know. You know what I mean? I think it's just fear
It's like when
sets
people
in.
don't believe in like aliens, like that we're the only things in this entire.
Like, I think we are the aliens. Okay, we are the aliens. Okay, because I mean, think about it. First of all, we're magical people. Like, we could actually heal ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And like I was showing you guys with the energy clearing and stuff. Like, it's a mentality, it's an intention, it's an energetic field that we have within and around ourselves. So we really are powerful and magical. And it's just like the more in tune you are with that, the more you're going to see that. And so there's so many people who are sensitive, and then there's people who are completely not, and they don't feel that, they don't see it, they don't believe it, whatever, and so they just can't get in touch with that side of themselves. We all have it. We all have a psychic ability. We all have intuitiveness, you know. So it's just a matter of your intentions matter. It really does. It was like, nah, I don't believe in that crap. Guess what? You're right. You have no connection to that because you don't believe it. So why would we even bother? You know what I mean?
See, I'm so moody. If I learned how to do all this stuff, I would cast spells on people. And then I would wake up like from a nap and be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean those things I said when I was sleepy.
Y'all seen the movie Craft, right? You've seen the movie Craft?
Yes.
Okay, so then you know. Okay.
Charmed was like my favorite TV show too.
Right,
So
okay.
I'm like,
Seriously,
I
my
want to be a
sister's too.
witch.
Right? Like, honestly, you know, but there's certain levels of course, they glamorize that
Yes.
portion of things, right? Don't we just wish we had those like superpowers too, you know? But yeah, I definitely think that there's certainly, you know, I mean, different levels of experience for different people, and it just matters how open you are to experiencing it. You'll start seeing stuff. But that whole dark stuff, I don't know, man, casting spells, you know, hexing people. I do egg cleanses like once or twice a month because I know people are doing that to me. I know,
What is
right?
an egg cleanse?
Oh,
Do you crack an egg over your head?
No, that would be way more fun though.
Seriously, that's what I imagined.
I was like,
You know, I might try to change some things up and personalize it myself. Maybe we'll do a little at the end of it. You do crack the egg, just not on yourself, okay? And at the very end. So yeah, an egg cleanse is like an energy cleanse. It's something I do.
Where, like, they roll the
Yes.
egg?
Yes, it's all, and again, it's intention. So the intention is to remove anything that is unwanted in your body as you are rolling this egg through your whole body. So you're doing it over your head, you know, your crown space, your third eye, your throat, everything, your whole, you know, your chakra areas. And then again, intention is removing it. So.
okay, but what if the egg breaks while you're doing that? Is that bad
Funny.
luck?
It's not bad luck, but what I feel like that means, and it does happen for people, it has not happened to me yet, and I try to really make sure it doesn't. I don't know why, just I'm superstitious, you know, like, you know, one round, we just got to get this one bam, you know, be done with. But I had like clients who be like, hey, my egg broke, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Do it again tonight when you get home. It's okay. So basically, you know, I feel like that's when you know that there was a lot of energy that needed to be removed, and it was like so much so that it couldn't even wait to bust out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, so that's what I believe that is. Unless you were just very careless with it, that can happen too.
Yeah,
It
but
just
if you're being careful and it
does
happens,
it. I think it's 100% energy for sure, and that you know you're doing what you need to do right now in that moment.
I would freak out and think I was about to die. So
Well, you know.
she'd be calling Lacey.
What does it mean? What do I do now?
how long do I have?
7 days.
Okay, don't do that though, because like if there was ever a scary movie that actually scared me to pieces, it
Is
was
that
The
one?
Ring and
My
Darkness
husband
Falls.
too, like Samara, like, you know. No, I always do. I'm superstitious, so I knock on wood 3 times anytime I don't want something that I thought might happen is going to happen. It's so stressful. It's OCD a little bit too, but also anxiety and a little bit of spirituality.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious for all my Office fans.
Well, I'm a little super, so.
So if you had like if I would be interested in like starting to kind of hone in some skills that we could benefit from that I feel drawn to, what would you tell me to do?
So in that aspect, are you meaning for your investigations
Or just like, because we talked about like spiritually, like I want to kind of focus on mindfulness and
meditation?
yeah.
Meditation is what I would do, and people they feel like meditation is so complex that they won't even. They're like, oh, that sounds like exhausting. It's like that's because you're putting too much energy into it already. So basically,
Okay, seriously though, because to sit
Yeah.
down and like try and quiet my brain
Yeah.
sounds
and
horrible.
it doesn't. When you're ADHD like me, you cannot quiet your brain. It is not about quieting yourself. It's actually the opposite. You're actually
Okay.
trying to hone in on your higher self. So your higher self is just like your intuition, the one who knows better. Okay. And then your ego comes in and goes, nah, get scared, get a little fearful, or you're never going to make it. Whatever your ego wants to tell you that stops you from believing in yourself,
The egg cracked. I'm going to die.
Yeah, exactly. But then all you got to do is, you're good. You're solid. You're living for 100 years,
There we go.
But yeah, I would say meditation is the first way to go because you've got to understand how to be one with yourself. And that sounds so cliche, but it really is just like you have to be able to be with yourself and be in your own energy, your own presence in a peaceful way. And honestly, when I meditate, it's simply as just finding a quiet place physically. And then once you get that, usually it's by yourself, you do it mentally. So what I do is I lay in my bed. I will turn on my rain sounds or what meditation sounds, and I will turn them up. You know what I mean? Drown out everything. You're going to try to drown out your own brain here, but that's good because what it's doing is closing out the ego part of you and allowing you to kind of naturally tune into what you naturally feel. So I will have a pad of paper and a pen next to me when I meditate. I try to remember anyways, because when I'm there relaxing, I'm in my zone. Next thing I know, oh, eureka, a light bulb goes off and I go, that's a good idea, spirit, thank you, and it's really just like yourself. It's like, holy shit, like that was able to allow me to see something or feel something that I wasn't going to because I'm so loud in my head, busy all day long, and so you really have to take that. Meditation is just quiet time to reflect.
I feel like both of us would benefit from that. I'm going to
100%.
start texting you every evening, like, hey, don't forget to meditate before you go to bed.
Honestly.
And I'm going to say new phone who dis because that sounds hard.
Sorry, wrong number. New phone who dis.
I will walk upstairs.
That is hilarious. No, but you guys could like before a session or after a session, you could literally do like a 10 or 15 minute one. It goes fast, you guys. Like literally, time goes fast. We know that. But just to kind of like calm the mind a little bit, it literally just allows you to kind of find that peace within you before or after, and probably both, to be honest with you guys. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's just like calming yourself. It's releasing energy that's bottled up or you don't want to hold on to. So meditation is what I would say for that.
So how do crystals come into play with your tarot readings or your spirituality and all that?
So it's actually funny because when I first started this journey, crystals weren't like going to be I wasn't focused on them at all. I didn't even think twice about that, connecting those two together, although they're both beautiful things individually and together. It's just not something that I thought about. But I realized, in this process, it's like if you want to connect stronger to your spirit guides, like fluorite is really good for connection. Labradorite is really good for clarity and connection. So these crystals, they have so many natural benefits to them. Each one, the list goes on for each one. So it's crazy. So it's really hard to pinpoint certain ones, but you have to find ones that really relate to your agenda, So intention is everything when it comes to everything, and that includes your crystals.
We always said that. Like, whenever we go into a place for a paranormal investigation, we have to set the intention.
100%.
And, because we do like to invite those that we love and, we
Yep.
want them to experience this with us. We can always tell when they don't have the same intentions as we
Oh, yeah.
do.
Yeah, and that's, you want to make sure you
throws
clear
off
that.
the entire
Mhm.
investigation.
Yep.
Like, we will not have as good of,
A turnout or experience.
as we would whenever it's just
Yeah.
our core team
Yeah.
and their
Yeah,
intention.
because we're physical form and our energy is strong. Imagine, you know what I mean, being in the spiritual realm and having energy. You can do a lot more with that, okay? So it's like, you want to be smart about your intentions. You want to make sure you're going into it with an open mind, an open heart and good intentions. You're not trying to stir up some shit. I mean, you might be trying to, but don't be mad when it happens, so.
We make fun of my dad because he's notorious for saying, you don't kill my entire family right now, then
Oh, so
you're not
he's
real.
a mockery. Wow, Dad. Okay, we need to get him a reading, okay?
Right?
We need to get him a reading because I love a good skeptic too, you know what I'm saying? So proof is in the pudding.
And he lives in a very, very, very haunted house, which is why.
He's just trying to, he's trying to play it off. He knows.
Right. So whenever we go somewhere that the energy isn't as like throwing things across the room as it is at his
He's like,
home.
there ain't nothing here.
Exactly.
Come to my house. You want to see some
Exactly.
shit?
He's like, I could go.
Let us.
Because he's scared y'all going to stir up some more shit.
Yeah, or
You're going to let him
figure
know
it
what's
out.
really going on in there.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to know. It ain't real.
But he'll say, like, if this is all you're going to do here, I'll just go home. I'll get more action there. Like, oh,
He's a hoot. I could tell I would like Dad.
Yeah, it's funny to take him places,
For
especially
sure.
if there's not a lot of
Yeah,
activity.
if you
but then
know.
something big happens and he gets scared, and I think it's
Right.
funny.
Oh, yeah. And then he's going to pretend that it's not, I'm not
Right.
scared. I'm just like, my knee gave out and I was trying to run.
Yes.
That's
So,
hilarious.
His house is extremely haunted. It's my childhood home.
Wow.
And it's really strange because we've had sightings since we moved in there. I mean, he's been there probably almost 20 years now.
Wow.
And he redid my old bedroom, and I always had experiences in my bedroom. Like, there was a little girl in there. She would whisper in my ear, breathe next to me while I'm trying to sleep,
Wow.
move my things. Like,
Yikes.
it was intense.
Okay.
So, they redid my bedroom and found wrapped in foil clothes, hand sewn old clothes that were stained with something,
Wrapped in
foil, shoved down in my duct. My dad called me and he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like,
That's
"I don't know."
something. That's something. It's not nothing.
It explains
We know
something,
that.
probably.
We know it's not nothing.
It definitely felt ritualistic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
He's like, "I don't know what to do with this." So he took it to the police station. He's like, "I don't know if this is evidence."
and they're like, what am I going to do with this? They're like, case is closed.
Yeah, he's like, "I don't care what you do with it. I don't want it."
Wow. Yeah, and he's like, what do I do? Because he's got a spiritual side he don't want to tap into because he knows he ain't trying to run and find out.
Right.
Because he knows there's something that you can find out.
Yes.
So, Dad, we see you. We
But
see
because
you.
he deals with that level of, activity, if nothing,
Yeah, if it ain't throwing shit around the house, it ain't
He's-
nothing.
right.
It's like, Dad, spirits don't have to be evil or rambunctious. They could just exist, Sometimes people are just too old and tired, even after life.
Right?
I know by the time I'm done, I'm like, damn, about time. I'm going to rest now. I finally get to rest. You know what I mean? Of course, I did tell my husband I was going to haunt him.
Same.
Keep that in mind, boy.
So have you experienced anything paranormal? Like, I know you're very in tune with spiritually, but have you ever, experienced the paranormal?
Yeah, I definitely have. Starting out as a young girl, like I said, that's how I knew. It was like just things that happened. I didn't even know there was such thing as a spiritual side at that age. When I was like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Like, I never ever experienced seeing an actual physical form of a spirit or anything. I've
So
seen
not like
definitely
full blown clairvoyancy, but you have picked up on.
Yeah. So I've got claircognizance. It's like I have several different abilities. And so it's like a little bit of everything and not enough of one thing. You know what I mean? Which is good because it's like a little good mixture because I'm like, I'm not trying, people have been like, you going to do mediumship? And I'm like, I really want to, but I don't want to. I'm not trying to wake up and in the middle of the night and Granny is standing by my bed looking at me like, I got a message, you know what I mean? We've been waiting for you, to connect. And it's so I I try to tap in with spirit and saying, I'm not, only when I'm ready in those moments, because I do get those experiences where I can tap in and all of a sudden just the readings are just flowing and people are going, oh my God, that's exactly what, she called me that. That was a nickname. And I'm like, whoa, and that's why I start realizing I got to start trusting my intuition when it's flowing because I'm not trying to say the wrong thing to somebody and be wrong, right? But that's never the case. So I'll suppress certain things. And then so I'm like, I got to start saying these certain things when they come up and just see if they make any sense. And 9 times out of 10, it's yeah, that's significant, So I'm like, okay, so. But for instance, one time in particular, it's kind of funny because it was at Blenner Hassett Hotel. The same time when I had met you guys, I cannot remember if it was before your reading or after your reading.
Probably after because we were there really
Super
early
early.
on the first day.
Yeah.
So
So
there was nobody down there in your guys' little den.
yeah, it was the speakeasy. Oh my
Yes.
God, I'm in love with that. I want to have an event of some sort down there, just a private event, because I think it would just be so cool. Certainly, definitely activity down there. So at Blenner Hassett Hotel at the Paracon last year, I was downstairs in the speakeasy, which was something they had just renovated. Okay, and we know if you know anything about spirit and renovation,
It
don't
stirs
like
it
it.
up.
it stirs it up. So that has been what they've been experiencing since they started renovating. It was just certain things happening. And so when I was down there doing my readings, I had a friend come in and get a reading with me, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. We're childhood friends. And I was just doing her reading, and all of a sudden when I was done, she was like, who's that gentleman standing behind you? And I was instantly cold chill from my eyeballs to my toes, and I was just like, look at me, you know what I mean? I'm like, and there was no room for a guy to stand behind me.
Yeah,
It was a
not
wall.
where you were set up,
Yeah, and it was
yeah.
in this little, woo. And I was like, I'm like looking like, I don't know, who is he? You know what I mean? And she's like, it's not your dad. Because she knew me. She's like, it's not your dad. I'm like, no, my dad's alive. It'd be a little weird, That'd be weird.
Like, they're here for you, not for me.
Dad, where you been? You coming in all of a sudden? What? But so I was like, okay, I don't know. And she's like, yeah, he's just like standing there, like he's like talking. She's like, he's talking to you. And I'm like, what's he saying? I'm like, what the fuck is saying? You know what I mean? But she was just like, yeah, like he's got like his hand on your shoulders. And I'm just like, damn, okay, it just keeps going. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe we're done here. Like, let's wrap up this reading. And
I
then
need to step out.
yeah,
for a
like I'm
moment.
like, and I did. I was like, okay, we're gonna clear the room a little bit. But I didn't feel heaviness. And I wasn't scared, but I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like, damn, somebody's standing behind me right now.
Like, I realize it's a paracon, but I was here for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
not,
exactly,
not for this.
exactly. Not this, Although I'll take it. I mean, it was a fun experience. But I had found out. Well, after that reading, I was doing a reading for somebody else, and it was probably like 20, 30 minutes after that experience. And I was just sitting there, and I felt on the bottom of my foot. And I'm wearing like, the sandals I'm wearing right now, actually. And it was just like, and my feet were crossed like this. I always sit like that, my ankles crossed. I'm just relaxed, I'm just chill. And all of a sudden it was just like smack on the bottom of my foot, just like that, like a tap. Like somebody was like, hey, or like a little kick with their foot. Like they were sitting next to me under the table. You know what I mean? I'm like, I might have been tripping. I might have just imagined that because I wasn't paying attention. Who knows? So I got on about my business, did another reading, and then it happened again. I was like, okay, so I know for sure. And instantly I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Now you're sitting next to me, or what's going on? Because he was tapping the bottom of my foot. So I know for sure that was an experience because I've never experienced something like that. And it was like an actual physical, I've never had that before. So I knew it was supernatural. But I come to find out, okay, that afterwards I get the story that there was a gentleman who used to work there as a janitor or a maintenance guy and at the hotel, 1800s, 1900s. I'm not sure, but it was forever ago, okay? And he sadly fell from like an elevator chute to his death. And I'm like, and that was where, in that speakeasy, that's where the chute was. That's where the elevator chute was. And that's where he died. And so I'm pretty sure, I don't know his name, but I think I need to find out now, just so I know who I was connecting to. You know what I'm saying? Or who was connecting to me anyway. Because I was like, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of not summoning them, but I was just like, hey. When I had my alone time, I'm like, hey, just so you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
anyone want to come chat with me?
Period. Like, let's interact. You know what I mean? I'm fine with it. And little did I know he was going to do it. I was expecting a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But I'll take that. I'll take whatever I can get, you know what I mean? So, but
I really want to go out to Blennerhassett Island.
Me too. I've never been there. Have you been?
I have not.
I have not. We need to do this because they do these like little hunts and whatever. I want to do it, but you have to camp out there.
Yeah.
But we going to do that anyway. So.
Yeah, we are. Lacey's going to join us for a ghost hunt in the fall.
I'm so excited.
Pumped. But yeah, I really want to go out there. I'm a huge fan of Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton is like, my jam. So Aaron Burr was actually kept prisoner on Blennerhassett Island.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I need to go out and see if I could talk to Aaron Burr and ask him why he would take America's treasure. And if you haven't watched Hamilton, you don't know what I'm talking about. So go watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
We can go right upstairs right now.
I avoided it for years, and whenever we drove out to Flatwood, Sammy's like, guess what we're going to do the whole way?
Watch
watching Hamilton.
She's like, like it or lump it, you get
The
it.
real reason I drove on that trip.
Right, because you knew she was premeditated.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it.
Right,
so
right, yeah.
I'm not
okay.
mad about
so
it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was held against my will.
You know how many times I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show for her when she was pregnant?
A lot. A lot.
Oh, little shop of horror. Oh my God, that's an oldie right there. That's an oldie, but a goodie. Always a goodie.
Tim Curry and Rocky Horror, my jam. We love it.
And he's Pennywise too, don't you?
The original one.
Isn't
the
that
OG.
crazy? When I found that out, I was like, damn, like, wow, he really has that face. You know what I mean? Like, you can just convert it to anything,
He can be a
I was gonna say,
transvestite or a killer clown.
tranny tearing it up on the floor. You could be Pennywise down in the gutter, stealing little children's souls.
So how do you get in the mindset whenever you do these readings for people?
Honestly, you have to make sure that you are in good spirits. No pun intended, but also pun intended, because For real.
The puns are ridiculous with these two.
Pun,
Okay.
pun. But no, literally, you do have to have good energy because I have witnessed myself, people, particularly on TikTok, spiritual TikTok, doing readings while A, they've got a lot of crap going on in the background. B, they're stressed out and crying because their bills aren't due. Like, I get it. Like, we are going through some shit, right? Do not do tarot readings or spiritual work when you are in that mindset. It is not fair to yourself or to spirit or to the person getting the reading.
Looks like I will never be a tarot reader because I'm always in that mindset.
So you could just practice some, I don't know,
Love
energy
and light,
removal.
Sammy. Positivity.
Right.
We are manifesting all the positive
All
vibes
the
for the
good,
rest of
all
this
the
year.
good. That's right. Intentions, remember. So
Just
yeah,
because the world feels like it's ending doesn't mean that we cannot protect ourselves and learn and grow.
I swear I heard and seen something move over there.
Shut up, Sam.
I
You're not
swear.
Sammy.
I can blame fear when it's not me.
It's obviously, I say that a lot.
Sammy.
Because she is the first one to say she like feels something, sees
Right?
something.
No,
Like
I swear.
my husband will kick me out, y'all.
I swear. I heard, first of all, what I heard was the sound of like a hiss, but not in a heavy way, just like a, but I think it was this moved. But then I look and I see it's a cat picture. And I'm like, maybe the cat hiss. I don't know. I mean, look at the son of a bitch.
Great, Kaylee. This is your fault.
It was a gift.
Yeah, he's a gift, all right. For real. I heard
How
something.
sweet is that skull? CJ
It's
3D
I
printed
was gonna
that
say,
for
3D
us.
printers are so freaking cool. I want one, but
We love starting hobbies and then putting them down and not picking them up again.
you know what?
Yeah.
Listen, it's called finding your niche, finding what you like. Okay, all you can say is you're a doer, right? Can't say you're not a doer because at least you're trying. So you can't find out what you like unless you try. So
That's very valid. But okay, before the cat interrupted us, so
Let
we
me
set
tell
our
you.
intentions, we keep it all light, and
yeah,
we don't participate in it whenever we're not in.
yeah. So and I mean honestly, like I'm blessed to be able to say that 9 times out of 10 my energy is good. You know what I mean? So and it could be just because I'm doing removals.
for sure.
Yeah, you got to do you got to be like, it's intention, you know what I'm saying? So it's what you tell yourself. And that's the biggest thing. And I tell my clients is like, if you tell yourself that you suck, guess what you do? You suck. You tell yourself you're amazing. Guess what? You are amazing. And it really is a belief system. You can say it all day long, but if you don't believe it, you're just talking shit.
So our self-talk is, directly related.
Affirmations. You got to believe in that. And you got to want it.
I feel attacked.
In the
Convert
best
it.
way.
You could convert that. Instead of feeling attacked, you could feel like you're being guided.
Enlightenment.
Honestly. But no, like, and I'll do a healing spray as well, or a lot of times, because like, you can do your sage, like the physical smoking, smudging, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're doing on your free time. But
We don't judge here.
No judging. But in spirit might say, hey, the spirit of Cheech and Chong, No, but I will do like a liquid spray. It's a healing spray, so it's like liquid form, so you don't got to like have a little smoke, or if you don't have time for it or whatever, if you just want to do a quick little spritz. That's what I do before every reading. I just love and light. And again, my intention is that I literally, as I'm feeling those little sprinkles on me, love and light, little bubbles of love and light, just bless me with its presence,
What do you do whenever the person you are doing the reading for, which, you're providing a service at this point, what if they are like not in a receiving, like they think they are, but they are not receiving anything you are saying?
They know they're not. They know they're not, and I will know they're not almost immediately. I have had that happen less than a few times, but
so it's not frequent. or
no,
anything.
not at all. And that's another thing too. Is like again when I'm like manifesting, like spot on, like spirit. Be with me, do your damn thing. They are really good at it. Okay, they are really good with staying connected with me, so I don't ever usually have that problem. It's happened once where it was a very closed off energy, and you could just see it in her 100%. She was uncomfortable. But why are you here, ma'am? Why are you here? And it's because she needed me. She just didn't want to admit it or something. She was just having a hard time opening up. So I know the reading was spot on because Spirit be giving me spot on readings. But she was definitely having a hard time accepting it or admitting. And it's like, so I have developed a sense of my practice where I do not have to dig in any further than you want to. And that's a thing that I've, because of that experience, is like, hey, listen, we do not have to get personal. any more than what you want to. I can dig as far as you want, or we can touch surface level and give you what you need to hear and get you on your way. Either way. So it's really up to that person and how far they're wanting to go. So honestly, I've actually gotten to a point where the only other time that something like that happened, she was certainly not, she was a skeptic. She came in 100% not believing, and it's like, why are you here? But I will invite a skeptic 100%, bring it on. But when I'm giving you your reading, she wasn't just a skeptic. She was a closed soul as well. So although she was, you could see it in her eyes that she was hearing shit she knew was valid, it was like, well, that's not me. And I'm like, honey, I'm not saying that to you. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I said, here's what we're going to do. After about 5 minutes, I gave her 5 minutes of my time. And 5 minutes is a long time when you're channeling a reading. And it's like consistently resistant. I said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you back your money. She's like, no. And I was like, no, I'm letting you know that you're not willing to be open to your reading right now. And I do not feel comfortable continuing this reading with you. It's not comfortable. It's not a good space right now. And she was like, no, I gave you your money. You're going to give my reading. And I was like, I mean, I said, I gave you your reading, and I'll be glad, because I'm not a bitch. I mean, I can be, I'm a good person, not a nice person. And it's changed, over the last couple of years, I've had to develop that boundary in myself. Stop being a nice person and just be a good person. That's all it takes, So you can set your boundary. You can be firm for yourself and stand up for yourself and say, no, I'm not. This is not going to happen anymore. I appreciate you so much. Come back when you're ready to be open to this message.
You feel like we're getting a reading and she doesn't even have the cards out.
Yep.
And that can happen. That's why I say resonation, because when I'm doing readings online, or I'm doing a reading for somebody and they have somebody with them, they will literally be like, whoa, that sounds like me. And it's like, hey, listen, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's making sense to you, you needed to hear it, whether you know it or not. You know what I mean? Whether you knew it or not. Now you know. But a lot of times, that can also happen too, is when you're doing readings. If you do have another person in that presence with you, a lot of times you'll pick up on their energy instead. And so if they're like, I'm not sure if this is making sense or not, and it's like, okay, so let's go ahead and regroup, let's restart. I'm going to ask if your friend can please just take like a 5-minute walk, just to make sure we are not picking up on somebody else's energy, and then boom, problem solved. And it's
that makes a lot of sense.
It's really crazy. And I've learned these things by doing tarot readings myself. It's not something that I research. Like, you don't go and you don't guidebook this stuff. This is stuff that you learn as you're doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm learning as I go. So I'm still learning something every day. But, it's like techniques like that. It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So maybe we need to separate you guys to make sure we're getting the direct energy here.
That's kind of happened with me before, even like whenever we've sat down. Because, whenever you are not necessarily skeptic, but whenever you're nervous but so excited to do something, it's like, okay, well, let's sit here together for my reading.
Emotional support.
Then the other, then I'll be sitting there and I'm like, is this Sammy's reading or is this mine?
Yeah, because you'd be like, hold on, Sammy going through that. Huh? That's what Sammy talked about that last week. What? So 100%, and especially if you guys are already a close person, close relationship, it will happen too. So certainly recommend. There you go. So certainly recommend
if we
that.
Want a reading, we generate.
Yeah. So, and the thing is I can do group readings. I can do readings together and stuff. I just know at that moment if there's for some reason something's not making sense, because tarot is like a big 1,000-piece puzzle. Okay, one damn card feels like a 1,000-piece puzzle. Okay, so it really does shift and change for each person's reading. It's not going. This 7 of Pentacles is not going to mean the same for you that it might mean for you if it come up. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on that spread, on that energy, and what's being said in that moment, because again, they all kind of go together. So you just got to kind of figure out where these fit for it to make sense for your life. So it's a lot. It is a lot for sure, but it's fun. I love doing what I do. It's my favorite thing. So
and it's even though you are providing the service for other people that for their peace of mind, for their growth, like you're also growing, participating in this, connecting with your 100%. Higher self to be able to then provide a service to somebody else.
It has created, it was a spiritual awakening that I had, and I didn't even understand
That's what
that.
I am looking for this year.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
And you'll feel it when it happens, because it's going to be this whole new reflection of yourself, this whole new understanding of what you desire or are wanting to aim towards or wanting to feel. It's like this, it's literally the judgment card, and that's what's happened too in my life. Because I'm a tarot reader now, anything life cards pop in my head. I'm like, oh, you're the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, you're the 4 of Cups right now. You're just going through some 7 of Swords right now. It's okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus. And it just happens naturally. It was just something I was like, holy shit, this is the way that Spirit's connecting with me. I mean, they already connect through my dreams. I can't sleep, at all. I don't sleep. I don't wake up exhausted, or at least I don't know if I am or not because I got shit to do, you know? But literally all night long, you'll hear me, like, I'm like a jukebox. Songs are playing in my head while I'm trying to, like, toss over from my left to my right. I'm, like, singing. I'm like, shut up. I got to tell myself, shut up. Like, I'm trying to sleep. Stop. Or I'll come up with, like, phrases or different words will just pop in my head. Like, it's just so crazy. It's so awesome at the same time, but it can get a little overwhelming. So I couldn't imagine if I went full force on mediumship. Like, no, thank you.
You're right.
No, thank you. We'll
Yeah,
tap it.
That's a little intimidating.
It's a lot. It's a
is.
lot.
And it encompasses so much.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, if I'm not, for me, I don't want to force something. I'm like, if spirit wants me to have that connection, I feel like it'll happen. You can learn things. Like, I learned tarot, but it was like so naturally for me that I felt like it wasn't forced. It was just taught for myself. You know, I had to learn, you know.
Whereas somebody can hand you a spell book and you'll be like, what is this?
Yeah, and it's like, keep that book with me. Now, listen, when I was younger, I knew that's how I know. I was like, maybe there's a little witchy in me because I was like, ooh, spells and stuff, you know. I was like, okay. But then all it took was one time hearing that shit will come back tenfold. If you wish something bad on somebody else, you put something, I'm like, well, then, no, thank you. I'm good. Love and light here. Thank you. Because I want good. You know what I mean? So, Sammy. Sammy, however.
Oh. So because this is a lot of things that I've heard from skeptics, right? Do you take into account, like, if I'm wearing an engagement ring or if I have a picture of my dog on my background of my phone, like, and you
Like
see
for your
that,
readings?
yeah. Do
No.
you, like, look into any of that?
No, because I will literally, because I'm not afraid to ask. Like, it's not a guessing game here. Like, for me, tarot is not about predicting the future. It's about tapping into your higher self. It's about getting a clarity or confirmation or understanding of what you probably already know. You just need to hear it from an unbiased opinion or just a little bit of a clearer mindset on it, because I do life coaching as well. You know, I just use tarot cards to help build that platform in that moment to get a better perspective of what's the message right now. And then it's like, so this is the message. Here's my advice to you. Here's my guidance for you. Try this, try that, do this, do that. Because I do like shadow work. Basically, you could pretty much consider me like a psychologist without the degree, you know, because, you know, life coaching, you don't have to have that degree. You don't have to have the certificate, you know.
Therapy, but spiritual.
You can, yeah, exactly. I'm a spiritual therapist, you know. So, you know, basically just helping people find their true self or, you know, embrace their dark side, because it's not about, you know, being happy if you are experiencing evil, you know, or darkness.
Right.
It's about saying I'm human and it's a part of me. And it's not like I'm not, you know, running for this. I'm trying to fix it or understand it. So if you can find a way to embrace your shadow self, then you find more acceptance in who you are and, you know, your flaws. We all have them. So it's really about just kind of pinpointing it and saying, I accept that flaw. I want to work on it. I want to do better. But because you can't truly like hold somebody else's shadow or flaw against them if we also have that. So it's like trying to find a balance and understanding and acceptance of our shadow self. So
Yeah, and maybe it's just that people don't understand what tarot actually is.
100%. They don't.
So-
They don't.
Like where we are in the Bible Belt, like the minute you see a tarot card, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
You're the devil.
Yep. And
You-
so
Or when people hear the term witchcraft, like it's not,
it's automatically perceived as evil, dark, sinister.
and it doesn't have to
No.
be. I'm not saying there's not,
No.
because
Because,
I'm
you
sure
know,
there
witchcraft it's a craft, it's a practice, it's what you're doing, something you're doing. So you could be, you know, practicing black magic. You could be
which
practicing
is one thing.
Right, exactly. That's a whole nother realm, you know. So it's really all about what your intentions are, what is your practice, you know. And so I get it when people are like scared of the darker side, because it's the unknown, it's the fear, it's the, you know, the lack of understanding of it, because we are raised to believe that it's not okay to be bad, right? Or to
Yeah.
show that heaviness in you, when really if we would have had more opportunities to release those and understand them and grasp them and embrace them, things wouldn't be so hard in the you know, teenage and adult life, you know what I mean? So but that's why I always like I started a teens and tarot
Oh, that's so
yeah,
cool.
2 years ago, and I not scared some people, you know, like get away from my children, you know what I mean? But it's like with parents' permission, of course. I mean, I'm not gonna like go rob your children or nothing, you know what I mean? Like bring
Well,
them
and
to me.
The ones that want that connection would come to you, and the ones that
Absolutely.
don't, you don't want there
Exactly,
anyway.
absolutely. It's like I do not want somebody who does not want to be here or who's you know, like if there's some type of way you feeling some type of way about it, as long as you have an open mind, ready to see what's to come of it, I'm cool with you. But if you're like, coming in talking crap and whatever, you know what I mean? And like,
This
give me a
is
reading.
dumb.
Yeah, this is stupid, but I'll go ahead and like, no, you can go ahead and find somebody else to do your reading because I'm not going to. Like, no, we need good energy here. We want good intentions, and then you'll get a good reading,
Well, speaking of readings,
Would you like to tap in a little bit? Or?
yes,
Okay.
let's do a
Okay.
reading.
Okay, so now we get to the really fun part. We are going to get a live reading. We are going to let Lacey channel her spirits, and we are going to see what they have to say for us.
For reference, she just saged us and our houses, both of them.
Yes. Cleansing the energy. This house is clear.
That means I don't have to do anything else to clean it.
Now, remember I taught you about feng shui. Okay, we got to add a little spice to it. We got to change some shit up.
I know she looked at my cabinets upstairs and like, these bitches did not steam her cabinets.
No judgment zone here. I'm just like, spirit, do your thing. Get your ass out the door if you don't belong
Spirits,
here.
come steam these cabinets for Nicole because clearly she ain't gonna do it.
I've been saying it since December. It needs done.
Okay, so
Let's move this.
I do have what I call the Starry Beginnings. No, I don't call it. It's called the Starry Beginnings deck. But it's good for like new moon energy. That's when I pull it out. So like when there's been like a renewal. Edit that one. When there's new energy, a new cycle. We're in the new year as well. First month of the first. Well, no, we're on the second month
We
now.
are. We're in
Dang,
February.
it's February already. Well, happy February. Okay, so okay, Spirit's
All
talking.
right.
They gave me a card. They don't normally do that. Sometimes it happens, but they're just wanting to let me know. Look at this. It says, "Stay strong, be a guiding light, ground yourself, and be love."
That's me.
Perfect.
So there we go. It's a good start. Okay, so I have my Light Seers deck here, which is what I channel to get like the bigger message, right? So I use my Oceanic deck, kind of like a mix between an oracle and a tarot, which means shorter messages, right? So I use it kind of like that. So it's like a base starter, like I build a theme, if you will, on the specific reading, on the specific person, the topic, or whatever is going on. So basically, who wants to go first? Are we going to do one? Okay, so the great thing about what I do is that you do not have to share any personal information with me. You can keep it closed off or open as much as you want. It's totally up to you. It's just going to be surface level information right now if we just keep it basic for you so that you don't have to kind of go in too deep or whatever. But we're just,
At least while the camera's rolling.
so Spirit's already talking. This is what they do. I call it word vomit, okay? And it's like literally when I'm just trying to get into the mood here with the cards and just kind of get that therapy going of shuffling. And they're like, blah. They're like, nah, you're taking too long. It's like, okay, let's get started.
It's like Sammy said, it's Nicole's turn, and they just jumped.
Like literally, they were like, we've been waiting.
It
for
was
you.
fate.
That's right. That's right. So the first three cards that come out for me, the first card that I did see was the Death and Rebirth. Okay, and people go, ah, right. So as soon as they see the Death or the Rebirth, or they see the Devil card, they're like, ah.
That was me during my first tarot reading.
It is a little, and I'm not gonna lie, I get a little uneasy too because I am a spirit of God. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a child of God. So when I see the devil, I try to run away too. But it does not mean like the devil. It just means toxicity and things like that. So there's so much to it. People just kind of get a little scared. But yours is the Death and Rebirth in reverse. Okay, and so reverse just means for me, it's like, hey, pay attention. This is what's going on. This is maybe what you need to focus on to kind of get through that part. Okay. So these are all in reverse. So you got some shit to work on, girl.
I'm aware.
So
I said this was my spiritual year, okay?
and it is, okay? Because what I'm seeing is that it's going to take you, because you're ready for a change. And so with these cards showing this and then your words saying different, which says there's things you're going to get through to get to that point. And so you have that intention, and that's all that matters, your intention. But also your actions to reach your aspirations. You cannot have something happen if you're not going to do anything about it. So make sure that you're proactive, write some goals and things like that, okay? So what I'm seeing is past energy for you. We're still getting over the past. Something about the past, still holding on to the past, or it's holding on to you, a need for a transformation. So the way to do that is to reflect on what it is that you are holding on to or it's holding on to you that like deep inside our body knows, our mind just goes there and saying, how do I learn to release that? Having the acceptance of releasing it. So the intention of saying, it's not mine anymore. It's not my business. The past is not my business. I'm letting it go. does not serve me. Because what I'm seeing is the Six of Wands and the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is saying having a hard time with resilience or growing through what you're going through, right? Or the acceptance of it. So it could be like needing to remove your emotions from the situation instead of going through it or going at it with an emotional state of mind. It's like get into the logic. So it's time to be practical. It's time to be mindful and logical with how to make this happen for you, whatever that is for you, because we all have different goals when it comes to change. So whatever change means to you, it's going to need for you to be like, I can let this go. I can release this energy. It does not have to serve me anymore. It does not serve me anymore. And so it's just saying finding motivation and that ability, the determination to have that success. Because I feel like it's like something about the past and the lack of success in that energy, whatever this is. It doesn't have to be anything in particular like finances or anything, but it's just like wasn't successful with that energy or having a hard time with that energy being successful. So it's just saying find the resilience, find the ability to remove the emotions from the situation, be okay with, removing the emotions. That's all you got to do is remove the emotions from it. It's a logical state of mind. We're going to tap in a little bit further with this deck here. It's not working. So it's time for a change. It's time for a transformation. So it's going to be out with the old, in with the new. So there is something that you're going to have to put to rest in order to make something new. Okay? So there is a need for a rebirthing. So somehow reinventing of some sort. That could be, and you guys can think outside the box with that. It doesn't have to be completely reinventing something. Okay, so I'm going to tap in a little bit further with this one, okay, because I have the Light Seers cards now to kind of see what each one of those oceanic cards might be. Okay, so the Death and Rebirth, we're going to start first. So Spirit for Nicole, the Death and Rebirth in reverse. The Death and Rebirth in reverse for Nicole. Let me get some more insight on that. Okay, yeah, so the Page of Swords is coming in where it's like learning something new or expanding or putting something in writing, getting something in writing. The Page of Pentacles is in reverse with the King of Pentacles. So this is something about long-term goals or lack thereof, or having a hard time being in it for the long haul. This could be somebody in particular that it's kind of pinpointing towards, is like not in it for the long haul or don't know what they want versus what they need, like a lack of order, a lack of balance. The King of Pentacles, or just like not standing on that business type shit, The Page of Pentacles is in reverse, which is saying that there's lessons that need to be learned. So there's things that's like, don't do that again. So if you've done something that wasn't working or didn't work, they're like, don't do that again. There's a lesson that needs to be learned in that in order for there to be a manifesting of some sort of new beginning. So I'm going to tap in a little bit further on this one as well. So the Page of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles. Lots of reversals. And it's just saying, hey, you know what? We've just got to kind of tap into the shadow side of my life right now and figure out where I got to bring that light in, okay? So the Hierophant is in reverse, and so is the Two of Wands. Your biggest, I don't want to say the setback for this, or the thing that would be holding you back, is your lack of belief system for yourself and not holding your vision. So you feel like, insecurities or a lack of progress, like something like that, that's kind of preventing you from holding your vision with something. Like your plans, your goals, like needing to move on, move up, or move out from something or towards something. The Hierophant in reverse says that you need to tap in more spiritually or trust that you're being guided. So it's like ignoring your higher self. You're not listening to your higher self with something, okay?
No.
So meditation is going to be your key to that, okay? The Moon comes out, which says that there's facing your fears and deep conversations. There's deep communication here that needs to happen. And I feel like that with this Page of Swords is absolutely like there's deep communication, facing your fears, trusting your intuition towards something official, making something official, okay, if that makes sense for you. So we're going to do the Six of Wands in reverse, okay? So the Two of Pentacles in reverse with the Six of Wands in reverse says
They're all in reverse.
Yeah, they are. They are.
This
They
is all
are.
about, this
Well, I'll
is
tell
all
you
about
that. Let me tell you this much: these two are not in reverse, right? And this says this is like a go for it type shit or a confirmation here of like to go, right, to move forward. Page of Swords. It says face your fear, have that conversation, or push forward with this and make it official, or get it in writing. And that could be you wanting to learn something new or try something new in this or in your endeavor, because this is your reading, but it could totally be,
Yeah.
So it's basically just saying these are the two. It's like, this is a for sure right here. It's like, oh no, this has to be worked out before that. This is a for sure thing. Okay, so Six of Wands in reverse come out with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is just saying you've got to reprioritize what's most important. You're juggling too much. Okay, so too many things on the plate is just as frustrating as not having enough. Okay, so you've got to find a way to balance yourself by choosing what's most important first, one step at a time. So if you've got a lot of shit to take care of, what's the first most important thing first? Then you can go to the next most important thing first.
I think she nixes taking care of the baby.
She's like,
Some days she would agree with me.
Yeah, but not today because she's at her grandma's right now. So today I feel guilty about not
Right.
having a
I
baby.
hear you. Okay, so the Queen of Swords. Let's find out what the Queen of Swords means for Nicole. Queen of Swords for Nicole, please. So the wheel wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That's what I just heard. So the wheel is all about fortune. It's literally saying that there's a turning point coming in for you, a lucky break. So it's like karma's doing its thing. We got to understand when there's a lack of movement or a lack of justice or balance or whatever. It's because we all have karma, and so it's got to like do its stuff. And then when it gets to us, when it's done ironing out these things. So if we keep putting in good keeps coming back. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's good moving in forward for you. Okay, so the wheel. Oh, okay, something about equal give and take here. It feels like there's going to be like what you're putting in is going to come back. Okay, so believe in yourself. Okay, so face that fear. Whatever it is that you're wanting to put into to have regenerate, it's like make it official. Get it in writing. Do it. Okay, does that make sense for you? Okay, so I'm going to do the starry beginning card for you. Let's see. For Nicole, can we get a starry beginning card? Oh, gosh. These ones are a little louder than the other ones, like made out of plastic. Okay. You are bright energy. Color uplifts you. So, girl, with all that black, I just heard maybe that's something new, adding some sort of color into your guys' thingy, because it doesn't always have to be black.
No.
Black like your soul.
We have established we needed to bring more of the pink we like in.
There you go. Pink is fun. Pink is fun.
Pink makes it girly because there are not enough women in the paranormal community.
That's true.
Like there really isn't.
That's so true.
Like in the actual like investigation part of that community, there is not a lot of women.
There really isn't. I never thought about that. That's a good idea. Yeah. So it says feel and release. Release all that you've accumulated on this journey. So this whole death and rebirth, ready for transformation, you have to feel it and then release it. So reflect on your past, reflect on whatever is still holding you back or whatever, and then release it. You say, okay, so this is this, and this. Well, I'm done with it. I'm done. And just mean it. Just be like, I'm done. And you got to say it out loud. First of all, you guys, it's that simple, and it really is, because, again, it's a belief system. So if you can tell yourself that you're officially done with something, then you can officially be done with something. But you're going to have to really be done with it if you're really done with it, okay? So everything is as you've created. All that you create offers you lessons in life. So there's no regrets. There's none of this. Anything you guys have been through, you're still learning everything. You're growing from it. So it's just saying everything that you have done, it's literally just helping you be better. It's literally helping you to do better. So, and I go through these too, like these moments of like, nothing's happening, or I'm just like, I can't figure it out. What the hell?
Stuck in a rut.
Yeah. And it's just the universe. It's like you got to give it to the universe, give it to God, give it to your next door neighbor. I don't care. But you got don't like them one, huh? They don't share their bread or nothing. They're not nice. Play their music too loud.
Other next door neighbor,
Oh, okay.
Not the next right beside.
Gotcha. There you go. Whatever neighbor you want
The next
to.
property.
Yes.
But basically, it's just saying you have to learn to be able to give that, to give it up, to get rid of that energy in order to really start accepting something new. So it's just a matter of trusting in your journey, believing in the process, and just saying, I know that everything's happening just as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, and it's only leading me to something better. It's a mindset. So it's true. It is true. But I do see good things coming in. I see you learning something new, doing something new, communicating something new, getting something more official or something in writing. Okay? And it's literally telling you, trust that intuition with this one. It's like you can listen to what you're, like, face that fear. That's all there is to it. Okay? All right? Does that sound good?
Reading, Nicole.
Loved it.
Okay, Sammy, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. All right. So what I can allow you to do is if you have something in your mind that you're like, I just really I want to focus on this in particular in your head. Like you don't have to share it with anybody, You can just focus on that subject, that picture, that thing, whatever it is, and just focus on it. We're not going to focus on what we want to hear. We want to focus on what they got to say. Okay? All right, Sammy, Spirit, can we connect the energy of Sammy and you? Okay. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? It's so funny because when I use this deck, I use this for yes and no's a lot too. So I won't use usually any other cards if somebody has a yes or a no. Because it's 3 cards. I want to get 3 cards, particularly from the deck, to get that solid answer. But then I always give you the message, why is it that answer? They're literally with you and you, they threw 3, okay? So I'll tell you, Nicole, if you had a yes or a no question by any means, it was more not right now, eventually, when you get through these things. When you accomplish these, yes.
Hate waiting.
I know.
The patience.
Yep.
It's making me work for it.
But don't forget, it's also trusting the process and then just knowing that, divine timing is everything, All right, Sammy. So we've got 2 reversals and then 1 up. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I want to tap in a little bit further here because the Knight of Cups, just like all of the cards, they can mean a bunch of things. So we want to understand what it means for you, okay? Never mind, I know.
Get very spiritual in the lab. The spirits are spiriting in the pod lab today.
So I got an inkling because Spirit was like, it's about that. They're like, yeah, okay. So the Knight of Cups talks about offerings. You see that word right there? But it's like, it ain't, what the fuck? There's no movement. What the hell? Where's and that's just right now. Because we tapped
4 years.
Right. Oh, okay. I get that because you're like, at what point though? Okay. It shows the history. It shows like looking back. Okay, so was there something that had to have been let go on one side or the other? That's what that's the reflection. Because it's not there anymore.
I get goosebumps.
Did you see? It's gone now. Wow. Okay, it was at the bottom. Okay, so and I'm getting cold chills too. Do you see this? Do you see that? Like I literally. Okay, so what I'm seeing for you is this feeling of like definitely like this offering, the energy of it, but the lack of movement of that as well. But then also feeling there's things like regrets of the past or like analyzing things of the past in a different way than what is productive for you. So if you really want the future to be something that doesn't feel that way, you have to stop thinking of the past that way too. Okay? So again, it's the journey here. I see achievement. Okay, I see achievement. This is like light bulb. This is saying we are ready to set some new intentions towards this journey, towards this reflection. When you're looking back at this journey, where it's all good things, it's all about finding the good stuff in it. That's what we want to reflect on because it's showing growth, lessons learned, and movement forward. Okay, so basically when it comes to this situation, there's a lack of movement for a reason. It's just because there's like self-discipline, self-determination, changing the path direction. There's something that needs to change that. There's like a need for control, or there's lack of control in that energy, okay? And on your end or whatever, But the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is just saying like not seeing that new start or that fresh start or whatever. So it's just saying that there is achievement in this. It's just time to set some new intentions. So brainstorming and planning and focusing on what your goals are for the next 6 months of your life. And probably just, I don't want to say manifest because you can literally, it's the same thing as like spell work, okay? Same thing as like doing a spell. Manifesting is the same way. It's your intentions. So your intentions, you just have to be careful, right? Be careful what you wish for. You don't ever want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl, look at that. Did you see how they just kind of flew out again?
Yeah.
So I see that there's like, I don't know, tough decisions that need to be made or just kind of like fear of the unknown, like not knowing what to expect or just kind of like don't know what's going to happen. But the High Priestess comes out, which is very strong crown chakra. It's that intuitiveness. It's like you can listen to your intuition, trust your intuition when you are analyzing certain things. But I do see the Eight of Wands coming out and saying that there's some sort of good luck, good news, travel, something of that energy that's going to kind of push you forward, okay? So what it's going to take for you is if you're wanting movement, you have to have your own self-discipline, your own determination, changing direction for yourself. It's like having those reins in your hand on the horse, but it's just like not holding them. You're just like, they're there, but I'm not doing anything about it. You've got to take control. It's time to kind of tighten those reins now. So basically, there's no kind of regrets. There's nothing about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, none of that stuff in life. We just have to say, I'm glad it happened for whatever reason because it's got me to here. It's got me there. So it's just finding gratitude is what they want you to focus on. If you can focus on gratitude, there's so much coming in for you. Like there's good things coming in. Yes, there is good things coming in for you, but it's your intention, it's your plan, it's your focus. So the next 6 months, let's see, what's that going to be? August. So
Hey, when we're definitely going to see you again.
what is it? The 2nd or was the 8th?
Yeah.
Oh
Second.
shit. Okay, so
almost
by
exactly.
then, yeah, that's
6 months.
crazy. That's crazy. So come that time, we're gonna reevaluate, and we're gonna say, okay, Sammy, so what's changed, right? So let's
What
go
have
ahead
you
and
been grateful
That's
for?
right. That's right. Have you been practicing gratitude? So again, gratitude is the acceptance of what is, whether it was good, whether it was bad, is, was, will be. It doesn't matter. Gratitude has changed my life. Like literally, that was my spiritual awakening. Gratitude. Because the moment I was grateful when I woke up and was just like, I don't care what I've been through. I'm glad I was through it because I'm not there no more. I'm here now. And I wouldn't have been here right here in this moment had that not happened because it changes your direction. Everything you do changes your direction. So you can make one choice that changes your whole direction that it was going to be if you would have chose the other choice. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about your choice. It's all about your direction. Okay, so I'm going to see what the Starry Beginning card has for you. Oh, girl. Okay. Sammi, life is an expression of you. Life is more than existing. So we don't exist, baby. We live, okay? We ain't here to survive. We are here to live. So instead of like living in your head in that energy or whatever, it's like finding your passions, finding things that bring out that good energy in you, things that bring out that that higher self of yourself, okay? So look at these colors. Look at them. They're matching. So it says, trust what you need is there. With love, all can be accomplished.
Yeah.
So trust what you need is there. So what I'm hearing is, because I also seen the 10 of Pentacles, which is like, where's all this? Where's all of that I'm looking for? I'm chasing a goal. I'm chasing a status here. And it hasn't happened yet. It says, let go of a fixed plan. Life is not what you think it should be. It's what you make it.
Let
You know what I mean?
go of a fixed plan.
Let
Did you
go.
hear that?
Let go of a
The
fixed
type
plan.
A in her is resisting.
Yep. And so you're very strong energy, and that's what it is. And you also, like, there's like this energy of waiting. So I feel like you're like waiting type of energy, but it's just saying, keep that patient, supportive energy in the waiting process. It's about It's not about waiting. It's about understanding. That's what I just heard. Spirit just said, it is not about waiting. You're not waiting. It's getting to a point of understanding. Okay?
Gotcha.
That just gave me goosebumps.
I also don't know if this was for me or Dave. So.
Well, here's the thing. You're connected.
It's both, probably.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that connection there. So Spirit's just like, hey, I know what you want to talk about. Let's talk about it.
That was so amazing.
Yay.
The spirits were like, hey, this isn't really for you, but you can like make it happen.
Pass the message. You're like, pass the message, But it's true, though, like the way that we manifest and stuff. So if you're like thinking, it's never going to happen, you're literally creating that outcome. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh,
So you can
that
be like,
hurt a little.
my new intention. Guess what? Remember it said achievement. The 8 of Pentacles talks about new intentions, a new goal, a new plan. Literally. You can't do it in here. You can do it all day long, but it's not getting anywhere because we have too much to do, so we have to do it physically. So I think that you need to write it down. I think that you need to like start doing Post-it notes and putting them on your wall. It's like motivation. I'll be like, I'll read it. I'm like, oh yeah, and I say it out loud. It's affirmations. Okay, so it's just like believing it, like I've said, and just like writing it down, saying it out loud. Those are things that you can practice as a way of manifesting. So I encourage you to just be like, there's good news coming in. I'm so excited. Everything that I've been through is all a lesson and it's a growth, and I'm so grateful. Like, thank you, whoever you believe in, right? Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universe. That's what I say all the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universe, for the good, the bad, the ugly, because I'm who I am because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love that. Thank you, God, thank you, Spirit, thank you, universe. I love that.
Yeah, because we say we know there's more than God. There's God. We have such solace in that. But there's also, God can't do it on his own. That's tough. He's like, I got to bring in troops. I got to recruit people, man. I got a big job to do. Let's send them to the smaller jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm
All right, guys. So we have just finished our live reading, and I feel very, very confident about it. It also hurt my feelings, but sometimes that's how it be.
That's right. They tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I ain't Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat.
Now, we are going to work out details, but once this goes live and once I have all the information, I will list it here on the screen for you. But we are going to sponsor one of Lacey's lives. We are going to cover for our followers to receive a reading via Lacey on her TikTok.
Yay.
Her credentials are, what's your TikTok handle?
So it is, and you got to watch it, okay? Be mindful, pay attention. I've got almost 50,000 followers, and I say this because there's going to be so many pages that have
Yes,
me
we have been
pretending to be
bamboozled.
me. Like, I was flattered the first year, okay? Now I'm just getting fed up, okay? But yeah.
I'll actually just take a screenshot of your
just
TikTok
put it
and put it
there.
in here so you can see
But yeah,
what.
the real Lacey J. The real Lacey J. Okay? Just find me. You can find me. And I got a Facebook too. Intuitive Tarot by Lacey J.
Yeah, we'll make sure those are all linked down in our description box. If you guys made it to the end of this video, leave the sparkle emoji.
Ooh.
Yeah, because we are manifesting, we are learning, we are growing.
There you go. Putting it all into the universe, baby. What we put out is coming back. It's coming back. Times 10 in a good way. Okay.
Yes. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening wherever you listen to your podcasts, such as Apple or Spotify, make sure you leave us a rate and review. If you're listening on Spotify, you can drop that same little comment down there to let us know you listened all the way through.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate this opportunity. It's been amazing. Like, I'm looking forward to the future.
Loved having you on here. And if you want to see Lacey back on our channel, make sure you leave us a comment, like this, share this with all of your friends. This has been amazing. Make sure you guys follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well at Spooky Sleuths Pod, because we will be all over that and let you guys know for sure when we are doing these lives with Lacey. Now, Lacey, not counting the one we're planning together, when do you go live on TikTok, in case our followers want to check you out?
Okay, so for the most part, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays is when I give my general followers a chance to get like free card pulls, maybe a free yes and no. But on Wednesdays, I do like my subscribers live, where you tune in because you're specifically subscribed to me.
This is always the one I wind up seeing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the only one I do face to face. All the other ones, it's like you get the view of my cards in my hands for the readings all week long. But on Wednesdays, we get that face to face interaction. We goof off. We listen to music. I'll be doing karaoke, getting sidetracked. But we have fun. Thank you. But yeah, so Wednesdays is our subscribers live, which actually also starting a click members live, because TikTok be doing their thing. You know what I mean? So can't trust TikTok all the time.
Right, definitely. So if you guys want more information on that, you can reach out to Lacey. You can find out, like, get a hold of her through her TikTok, message her, and get in with that, because she is doing some really good promotions right now, and she would love to have you join her little clique over there. There's a group of people that are just fantastic.
Yeah. Bunch of silly people, all having a good time, all there for the good reasons. So it's a good vibe. It's a good energy for sure.
And you saw how great of a tarot reader she is. So
Period.
go buy a tarot reading from her.
So, Lacey, what con are you going to be at next? Where can they come see you in person if they want?
Okay, so next I'm going to be at the Lafayette Hotel in Marietta, Ohio on March 2nd. It's going to be at the for the Holistic Psychic Fair from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be readers. It's going to be a lot of fun. They do it 3 times a year. So this will be my second go of a whole new round. So
And Sammi and I are planning on being there too. So
Yes.
come and see us too.
yeah, it'll be a good time. Lots of opportunities. So I'm excited. And there's going to be plenty more festivals and everything that we're going to take part in. So, and hopefully you as well. So,
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you guys follow Miss Lacey on all of her socials, which will be listed in the description box. Make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Spooky Sleuths Pod. We are active over there. Right now, TikTok's still kicking, so we're just letting it ride.
That's right.
And all right, on 3.
Okay, what is the game?
Stay spooky, friends.
Okay. I would have said something completely different. You like, come on.
Like, what the hell? Okay, we're going to do this together. 1, 2, 3.
Stay spooky, friends.